Doc, give me a hand. Hold this. Doc, wake up.
Howdy, Wyatt.
How much have you had to drink?
Should be emptier than that.
Wyatt, take a look here. 5,000 in government bonds. Count them.
Take your word for it.
These are from the robbery. I want Holliday arrested.
If you charge him, I'll have to arrest him.
Did I hear him say something about a robbery? What is this?
Not here. Come on, Doc, we'll go over to my office.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Wyatt had been warned so often about his friendship with Doc Holliday that the warnings merely bored him or increased his loyalty to Doc. But when the Wells Fargo office in Tombstone was robbed of $40,000 and witnesses identified Holliday as one of the robbers, Wyatt's already difficult position in Tombstone became more impossible.
Come on, Doc. Let's take a little walk. That's a boy. You want to sit down?
Drink some more of this.
No.
Doc, try to understand what I'm going to say. Two men blew the Wells Fargo safe. They got away with $40,000.
$40,000. Boy, Wells Fargo must be weeping big brass tears.
This isn't funny. You're identified as one of the robbers.
I was identified.
Witnesses said they seen you.
How much did I get?
Well, we found five $1,000 government bonds in your saddlebag.
No, it couldn't have been me. Now, if there were two robbers and I were one of them, I'd have gotten at least half of that $40,000. In fact, if I know myself at all, my share would have been more than half of that money.
Doc, this ain't no laughing matter. They're gonna send you up to prison.
Yeah. Right now, I need a drink and some sleep.
Well, he does need the sleep. Come on, take him over to his hotel room.
Let's go out the back way.
Yeah. Cost me $70 to put them clothes together. Yeah. Worth every cent of it.
Putting some Mickey fins in Doc's liquor was smart, too. Why, he'll never know what happened.
No, not until he wakes up. Then he'll get caught with them government bonds.
Well, what's our next move, Ratsy?
Hide the money. Then we go back to Tombstone.
Tombstone? Not me.
You and me. Both of us. I aim to sit right there in court till they send Doc to prison. Huh. I'm gonna laugh right in his face.
You finished playing poker at about 2:30 over in Galeyville and headed back for Tombstone, right?
Yeah. Somebody fixed my drink. I took a nap along the trail. It was almost 5 o'clock before I got into Tombstone.
Well, the robbery took place 10 minutes before. That ruins your poker alibi.
That's right. Looks like I'm a goner.
Who could have framed you? This safe blowing was a good professional job. Used drills and nitroglycerin. Not too many know how to use it.
Yep. I played cards with a lot of safecrackers, Wyatt. Boy, they sure bet explosively. Everything on 3 aces or a full house.
Look, when you start thinking seriously about this, you're in trouble. Now, if you want me to help you, I need a lead and a good one.
True.
Now, try to think who it was. Somebody who hates you. Somebody who's careful enough to time things out just right. And smart enough to copy your clothes.
Why, I've made so many enemies over a period of time. It'd take me a long, long time to sort them out.
Who is it?
Shotgun. Doc Goodfeller says that it might have been Mickey Fenn's, but he says you're going to have to send it to Kansas City to get a chemical report.
It'll take 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Mr. Thacker's all head up. He says you're going to have to keep Doc in jail.
When's Judge Spicer get in?
This evening, I think.
Well, I can keep Doc incommunicado for 24 hours. It's none of Thacker's business where I have him.
And old man Clinton's is sitting downstairs in the lobby waiting for you. He's mighty head up, too.
Clanton? What about?
Didn't say. Oh, Doc, Blinky Davis sent that there package to you. Said him and the boys all chipped in. They want you to get the best lawyer in town. Blinky said he'd supply all the witnesses you need.
Blinky Davis, that wonderful conniver. Well, there must be $3,000 here, Wyatt. Every hoodlum in town must have chipped in. A love that passeth all understanding, Wyatt. I need a sharp lawyer and 10 good witnesses who don't care how they perjure themselves.
You can't pull that on Judge Spicer.
Well, they're trying to frame him. You can call me as a character witness.
Thank you, Gibbs.
Now, wait a minute. I'm a marshal and an officer of the court. You can't rig a defense. Doc, I told you before, this is not a funny matter. Now, you could get 20 years.
Take it easy, Wyatt. I'm going to be my own lawyer. Shotgun, return this cash with my thanks.
Well, if you say so, Doc. Wyatt, you better find out why old man Clanton's a raring so. Maybe he knows something.
Maybe he does. You stay here with Doc. Don't let him drink anything. I want him to think about who framed him.
You're not only a John Law. You're a thick-headed, sanctimonious John Law.
But I'm sorry you feel that way, Mr. Clanton.
You know blame well Doc Holliday ain't no thief. Why, he cleaned out the Figaro game and the poker game at Galeyville last night. He had any money on him, he won it honest.
Well, he was framed, Mr. Clanton.
Framed?
That's right. 2 men pulled that job. One of them was dressed like Doc. They spiked his liquor and planted stolen government bonds on him.
Why, that's the lowest down trick I ever heard of. Doc's your friend. You letting them get away with this?
I haven't got any leads yet.
Typical John Law hogwash.
I'm going to get a list of the names of the men that Doc has had trouble with. That may lead us somewhere.
Yeah, you get them names, but don't bother with the killed ones, just the ones that got back on their feet and started hating him.
Why are you so interested in Doc?
Well, there's only 2 people in this town I got any use for, Miss Nellie Cashman and Doc Holliday. And I ain't letting no passel of safe-cracking hoodlums frame Doc.
Doc has got more friends than he thought he had.
You send me them names, and then keep out of my way. Go sit in the shade and polish that tin star. I'll do some real police work. Get up!
Now, what do you got to be humming about?
This affair amuses me, Mr. Gibbs.
A term in prison makes you smile, does it?
Yep. Do you know the meaning of the word irony, Gibbs?
Nope.
Well, when a man escapes punishment for what he did and gets punished for what he didn't, that's irony.
Idea fidgets me.
My sense of irony has not been entirely satisfied. The jury should vote to hang me.
Hush up talking that way, will you, Doc?
Hanging would be my artistic end. Probably what I deserve. But instead, I guess they'll just let me sit out the rest of my days in a prison cell. Anticlimax is the word for that, Gibbs. Ah, well, what a day I'll have in court. I'm going to be my own lawyer.
Why'd you talk to him? You just don't seem to care no more.
Wyatt, do you think that old man Clanton framed me?
No, he wants to help you.
That's incredible. First Blinky Davis, and now old man Clanton wants to help me. The reward of a misspent life.
Change your tune, Doc. You're a friend of mine. What happens to you, I'm serious about.
All right. You name the tune.
You sit down. Make out that list of all the men that you've tangled with.
The dead ones, too?
No, just the survivors. Now think hard. I want the time, places, names, everything you can think of.
Look, we're here as cattle buyers. We check our guns and keep out of trouble. Two over here, bartender.
Right away.
Let's see if there are any more. Yes. There's a bank robber by the name of Ratsy Melbourne. He's kind of doubtful.
Doubtful?
Mm-hmm. I shot at him in Van Horn, Texas, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, why doubtful?
Well, I think he died. There wasn't time to make sure.
Write him down. I'll take you on over to the jail. I don't want Thacker complaining.
What are you going to do with this list?
I sent a copy of it to Clanton. He'll know most of these hoodlums and where they are now. Come on.
That's what I said. You know what I'm talking about. And you owe me $30. Are you calling me a liar? You're a liar and a horse thief. We were just standing talking, having a drink, and he got in an argument because I just asked him for some money he owed me. He drew first, Marshal. Honest, he did. It was self-defense. That's what it was.
My friend, do you know old man Clanton?
I ought to. I work for him.
Well, you tell Clanton that Ratsy Melbourne is in town. Also tell him that the message comes from Dr. John H. Holliday.
For $20, I'll raise plenty of dust.
The other one died. I thought I told you to wait in the jail.
You did? But I met an old acquaintance.
Come on. Let's go.
Evening, Wyatt.
Howdy, Judge.
Looks like you had an explosion at the Wells Fargo office.
Yes, sir, we did. I'd like to talk to you about it.
All right. Supper can wait. Wyatt, your friendship with Doc Holliday has been the one mistake of your career. Your friends have been worried about it for a long time. I know what you're going to say, and loyalty is an admirable trait.
Well, Doc has been loyal to me. He saved my life in Dodge. Look, Judge, I'm going to ask you one simple favor. The continuance of the case for a few weeks. It's going to take time to trace Doc's enemies.
I can't give it to you. For your own sake.
Well, I don't care what people say. Let them talk.
Well, I do. Now, this is a hoodlum town. And there are only a handful of decent people on our side. And if we give them the idea that the law is granting favors to Doc Holliday, we'll lose even the support of them. Doc Holliday goes on trial tomorrow. I took an oath to serve the law.
Yes, sir, so did I. There's one other thing. We've got Doc under guard in his hotel room. You know, he's a very sick man.
Well, the court will stretch a point there. He could get out on bail anyway.
Thank you, sir.
Warn him not to try any tricks.
Tricks?
Cook up evidence, phony alibis, hoodlum testimony.
Judge, the hoodlums gave Doc $3,000 to hire a lawyer and provided him with alibi witnesses. He gave the money back.
That's a surprise, I must say.
Well, Doc is a very strange man. He's lived with death for a long time. He's the one absolutely fearless character I know. I think he wants to be convicted.
Why?
His last grim joke on the law. Die in prison with his boots off. Chuckling.
I reckon you boys know the job we got to do. Ratsy Melvin framed Doc Holliday, and I aim to catch up with Ratsy and make him tell the truth. Wyatt Earp couldn't do that in 100 years. Takes the Clantons, by Joe, to see that justice is done. We're going to Tombstone.
Doc? One moment. Now, sir?
I just talked to Judge Spicer. You go on trial in the morning.
All right. Your move.
Wait a minute. Now, Spicer isn't going to be prejudiced, but he's going to be tough. That jury's going to be loaded with prominent citizens.
Naturally.
Then you hire a lawyer and keep your own mouth shut.
I appreciate your advice, sir, but the answer is no.
How you gonna get them folks all riled up?
I wouldn't miss this for anything in the world. Too bad I can't win. It's your move.
You know, this is really living, Hoss. Yes, sir. About 2 hours, we'll be sitting at Doc's trial.
You know, I bet Doc gets 20 years.
Yeah, well, 10 years will be enough. He can't live that long in prison. See who that is.
Who is it?
N.H. Clanton, open up.
It's old man Clanton.
Let him in. What's the idea? You low-down, wicked scum. What'd I do to you? Framing Doc Holliday, you ought to be killed right here. Of all of You're a good one to be lecturing me, you cattle-rustling old buzzard. Take him. Come. I never framed nobody in my whole life. It takes a mean criminal type like you, Ratsy, to even think of such a skunky trick. Who says I framed Doc? I say it. And before we're finished, you say it. Right out in court. You think so? Take him out the back way. Livery stable's more private. If I was you, Ratsy, I'd talk. You ain't me. All right, swing him. Let's go. That's high enough.
You can't get away with this. There's some law in Tombstone.
Oh, sure, a buttonhead named Wyatt Earp's over at the courthouse now, trying to hang Doc Holliday for what you fellas done. Ratsy, I hear you. Time we get through with you.
You can't torture us into confessing. It ain't legal.
Legal? I ain't legal. That's how come I can do better police work than Wyatt Earp.
You're bluffing.
Bluffing? Well, now, I ain't dressed a hog since, could be 5-6 years' worth. Might be a bit rusty, but anyhow, lower him down to hog dressing height. That's good, that's good. Now, let's...
No, I give up. Ratsy's getting the whole thing.
All right, boys, let the horse down. We'll start on Ratsy.
The prosecution will show that the defendant, Dr. John H. Holliday, was seen leaving the Wells Fargo Express office by reputable witnesses. Further, we will show that when the defendant was arrested, he had 5 $1,000 government bonds in his saddlebag. Now, Your Honor, The serial numbers on these bonds prove that they were among those taken from the Wells Fargo shipment. And finally, we will show that the defendant could not account for his whereabouts both before and after the robbery. Thank you.
Dr. Holliday,
Yes, sir.
you are appearing as your own counsel. Do you have an opening statement?
I most certainly do. I move the court declare a mistrial.
On what grounds, sir?
The law provides that a man charged with a crime be tried by a jury of his peers.
That is correct.
Are these men my peers? I know each and every one of them. And I say this to the court, that they are swine, incapable of weighing the law or the evidence. In fact, Your Honor, I doubt if half this jury could weigh 10 pounds of hominy grits without tampering with the scale.
That will do, sir. Your opinion of the jury is irrelevant and immaterial, Dr. Holliday. You have failed to challenge one veneerman.
All donkeys look alike to me, Your Honor. And speaking of donkeys, I should like to refresh the court's memory of what Peter the Great said about lawyers.
The court is not interested.
The judge is supposed to be a lawyer, and he should be interested.
That's enough. Any further disturbance, and I will clear the court.
When Peter the Great was visiting London, he said, "I have but 2 lawyers in my kingdom. I mean to hang one of them when I get home."
You want him to hang you?
The court will tolerate no more remarks from this defendant. An opening statement is to be confined to what the defendant believes he can prove. Now, is there anything you can prove in your own defense, sir?
Yes, sir. I was framed, and I expect to prove it.
Well, do you have any reputable witnesses to support your claim?
I'll take their word against any witnesses for the prosecution.
Indeed, sir.
Your Honor, my defense depends upon the testimony of hoodlums. I wouldn't have it otherwise. A good, honest hoodlum is the noblest work of the devil. His lesser creations turn into judges and juries.
Marshal Earp, clear the court. Dr. Holliday, the jury has found you guilty of grand theft. There has been no recommendation for mercy. However, the court is willing to hear medical testimony as to your physical condition, if you choose to present it.
My physical condition is excellent, and my spiritual condition is better than any legal blatherskite in this country, including you, sir.
Very well. I shall pronounce sentence. What's the meaning of this?
Will you hush up? I brung you the 2 varmints what robbed Wells Fargo and framed Doc Holliday. Swear 'em in. They'll tell the truth.
Mr. Clanton, have these men been under any duress?
Duress? What's that?
Have they been manhandled or threatened?
Why?
How about it, Ratsey?
No, sir. We're confessing of our own free will. But you got to keep him away from us until we're safe. In prison.
Mr. Earp, remove the prisoners.
Yes.
Well, Doc, you had horseshoes in both your pockets. I couldn't help you, and it was only by the slimmest chance that Clanton could. Now, one of these fine days, one of your hoodlum friends turned enemy is going to kill you.
Please, Deacon, no sermon. Like I said before, not while I'm enjoying myself.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame and long live his glory. and long may his story be